Does that make you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Mahmoud's in America. I can do whatever I want to him. Even ruin a nice
No,
moment.
don't start at the same, don't running after that.
Rules here, I know how things work. Whereas, like, in Egypt, I don't know, like, how far you can take it. But here, nobody cares, so.
Okay, Nicole and Mahmoud, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this one, hey. Now, we know that when we first saw this couple, they definitely were a couple that had massive differences. One, due to the fact that they were in Egypt and therefore Mahmoud only wanted to stick to the strict rules of his culture. But also on top of that, some people even accuse him of adding other stipulations to his culture that didn't really exist because he just wanted to be extra strict because he pretty much he had controlling factors about him. He liked to control his woman, right? But at the same time, we also learned that Nicole had already tried to be in Egypt prior to when we first saw them, but she decided to go back and try again. And because it didn't work again, what happened? They decided to come to the States and give it a try, which is why we are where we are right now. But straight off the bat, they've met at the airport, and straight away, Mahmoud is uncomfortable. Straight away, he's feeling like, what's going on here? But why? Well, here's the thing. The problem with Nicole is that now she's in America, as you saw and as she said, okay, she believes and feels that she can now do exactly what she wanted to do this whole time. And that was be able to dress with being able to show skin, because we saw obviously before when she did that in Egypt, Mahmoud was never happy about it. But also on top of that, to have the ability to also show affection, which again, something that Mahmoud was not willing to do or happy about. So those are the things that he stopped her from doing at the time of Egypt, amongst other things, which is why she just said, you know what, I have to come back to the States. And this is where we have to give it a try because this is just not working for me. But here's the thing though, the man has just landed, but Nicole has not given him time to adjust to America just yet. Okay, I do feel like she was definitely being overwhelming. I do feel like she was definitely being too much straight off the bat. Generally speaking, if he was a man that was an American man or even a British man or any man that comes from a world the same as her, everything that she did was completely fine. But that's not the case. She's dealing with a man that is literally in a cultural shock right now. And she has to be able to allow this stuff to happen slowly, not just be straight on, babe, like, yo, relax, chill, okay, slow it down. Okay, that has always been pretty much her little issue there and there. But hopefully that's something that can improve. Now, here's the thing though, before we continue, now we do know that Mahmoud was arrested for DV, and these are charges that were made against him from what we believe to be Nicole. But people are wondering, why is it these two are still in the season? Well, this is where it gets interesting because allegedly the charges have now been dropped against Mahmoud. Now, here's the thing though, I've had a look. I've known people who have also had a look to see if these charges have been dropped, but so far those charges have not been documented as if they've been dropped just yet. So it is quite so I don't know if there's been a delay in terms of the system showing us that the charges have been dropped, but we can only assume that I guess they have been purely because these two are still in the season. But hey, once I get the proof, I'll definitely be here to let you guys know. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, but with that being said though, let's see what else went down with these two in the first episode of them being together.
What's this, honey?
That's for, like, when I do listings for the clothes. And
So why not have clothes now?
Because Mahmoud's now in America, and I'm hoping that he can give this his best effort because there's no way that I'm moving back to Egypt.
Now, first and foremost, Nicole makes it abundantly clear that moving back to Egypt is not going to happen. And to be fair, rightly so, because she did try to go to Egypt, I believe, 2 times. And in both times, it just did not work for her, which is why they are now in America. But the other thing that I will add, though, is that this is the other problem with Mahmoud. We know that Nicole right now, her issue is just being too overwhelming. But his issue is having too much of a mouth. He's just arrived and is already making comments about her workplace, talking about these mannequins. Like, bro, relax, chill. It's not that deep. But this is the problem that we've always had with these two. We are dealing with a man that has no chill. Everything with him is literally hot and cold. 1 minute is, next minute is, there's never really a balance. There's never that civil ground, do you see what I'm saying, okay? Which is why these two, really and truly, don't really have the tools to work because Mahmoud he doesn't really have much of a character that's in between. You know what I mean? For them to work, therapy would definitely be needed for well, both of them, to be honest with you, but I think Mahmoud probably needs it just a little bit more, okay? But also on top of that, the other reason why they won't work is because Mahmoud seems to be very, push off when it comes to the affection, it comes to Nicole always being close to him. But Nicole loves all that kind of stuff. Okay, so really into these two have any hope of making these work, I would say that Mahmoud probably definitely needs to go to some type of therapy, whether that be anger management or something like that. And Nicole definitely needs to learn to just slow it down. You know what I mean? Okay, and not be so freaking overwhelming. But nonetheless, though, let's move on to the next couple.